Well, hello, all of my faithful followers, my friends, my subscribers. Welcome to the Fil en de Blanc podcast de Francais. I am American, and first off, my hearts go out to everyone that hurts, and I support all the peace in the world. With that said, you could throw up some ones in the chat. My cousin's kid taught me that. Throw some ones in the chat. I have no idea what it means. They all look like little mini fingers, little middle fingers to me. Throw up some little middle fingers or some baby peni. Okay. Corbin Bleu's an actor. Jon Batiste is a performer. You're going to see them together after an hour of watching Joe Biden. So this is absolutely terrible. Dislike the hell out of this video, please. No likes. Or unless you want to like. If you want to support me, I think you have to like me because of an algorithm that kicks in. But really, there are more important things in the world to worry about instead of likes and dislikes. But smash that like button and subscribe and get notifications. It's 10/18/2023. Happy unbirthday to my friend Michael and his daughter, Michaela Hunt. Mr. Hunt and his daughter, unfortunately, have been struck with the itis. So I want to say unhappy birthday to them. Season 2, episode 32 starts in who knows? Who knows? All right. Oh, God. I'm going to go try on my new pajama pants. Have fun. Toodles. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't know about you. I'm loving all of yous. I'm drinking lots of juice with a straw in a cup or a bottle that I know you say what's up. But what you know about me? Do you want to eat me? I know you want to, but I'm not a cupcake or a brownie. I'm a muffin top. Love you, Taylor Swift. Will you date me? I'm a semi-professional recreational curling player in Topeka, Kansas. Eh? I don't even know what they talk like that.
Visit
Canada.
In
I'm
Chicago,
a curler.
Lincolnshire.
I'll curl your
Oakland,
little
in
PBQs.
Go to
They call me Arby's
Tom'sPrice.com
because I curl
for
girls'
locations
Qs.
and hours.
Panic rooms in the USA. Next, it's an edition.
It's live with Kelly and Mark. Today, a performance from Grammy and Oscar winner Jon Batiste. Plus, from the beautiful Little Shop performers, Corbin Bleu. And from the farm to our studio.
This is an ABC News special report. Now reporting, David Muir.
Good morning. We're coming on the air at this hour because President Biden is about to deliver remarks in Israel after arriving overnight to a region in crisis. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu greeting him on the tarmac. President Biden then meeting with Israel's war cabinet in a show of support and, of course, an effort to prevent the war between Israel and Hamas from turning into a much wider conflict here. The president also meeting with the families of victims and first responders just a short time ago. A second planned meeting with Arab leaders in Jordan on this same trip was canceled after the explosion at that hospital in Gaza. Of course, the horrendous scene there, killing at least 500 people. Both the Palestinians and Israelis blaming each other for that blast. Meanwhile, there have been protests in support of the Palestinians across the region. You're looking right now at pictures coming into ABC just moments ago. This is outside the U.S. Embassy in Beirut. You can see protesters there demonstrating again in support of Palestinians. The Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah calling for another day of rage, specifically targeting the U.S. And we should mention at this hour that here in this country, security remains on high alert in several major cities across the U.S. President Biden is now hoping to head off a wider war that, of course, always runs the risk of drawing in Hezbollah to the north in Lebanon and in Iran, while also trying to prevent a humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. With hundreds of thousands of people already displaced. You can see that is the room in Israel where the president is expected to speak just moments from now. Again, meeting a short time ago with families of victims in Israel. I want to bring in our chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz, who is standing by in Tel Aviv. No question, this trip is a bit of a tightrope for the president. And Martha, you and I have been on the air so many times when a president has made a trip to a war zone, but usually it's done in secrecy. This one very much out in the open on the world stage, and it does come with risk.
It certainly does, David, and we're standing here in Tel Aviv. There's a helicopter overhead. The streets are closed off below me. You can see police officers lined up and military as well because of the security here. I can't really ever remember a president going into a war zone, a conflict zone, so publicly, announcing days before that he would be coming to Israel, but the president thinks this is such an important trip, and he is trying, as you say, to walk that fine line, that tightrope, to support Israel in the right to defend itself, but take into consideration the plight of the innocent Palestinian people inside Gaza. And I think that is the message he gave to Benjamin Netanyahu today, that they have to consider that. They're about to launch a ground war, according to the Israelis. What kind of ground war they do, I think, will depend on things they have heard from Joe Biden, and that truly was the message. But not having those meetings with Arab leaders, Muslim leaders, is so important, because you have seen those scenes. They need, President Biden, Israelis, they need the help from Arab leaders to calm this part of the world down. That hospital explosion, no matter what the Israelis say, you will hear from people who will not believe them. So they do need, in that part of the world, to hear from their leaders to try to calm this situation down, David.
You have covered this conflict for many decades now, Martha, dare I say, and as we keep our eye on this camera where the president is set to speak, I'm curious what you make of these images coming in just moments ago from Beirut, just alarming pictures of protesters outside the U.S. Embassy there.
Yeah, they're incredible pictures, and we were watching those images just a short time ago. It looks like you have some from the Lebanese military throwing flashbang grenades at protesters. That is the U.S. Embassy. They're outside the U.S. Embassy. And David, as you know well, we do have to keep in mind what happened here in Israel. You saw it up close. I saw it up close. It was a horrendous attack by Hamas, but things have really spiraled out of control. And those images from Lebanon show you how bad this could get.
Martha, stick with us here. We are about 2 minutes away from President Biden addressing the world from Israel on this trip to Israel. I want to bring in Ian Panel for a quick thought here. Ian, you heard Martha talk about just the devastating images coming in out of Gaza at that hospital. Of course, both sides pointing to the other. But there are early images from that site. And again, we don't know. All we know is what President Biden said today. He's basing what he said earlier today, which is that he believes it's at the hands of Hamas based on what he has been shown by his own defense team. But in the meantime, what can we discern, if anything, from some of the images that have now emerged from the site?
Yeah, David, I think what we need to be very clear on is we don't know who carried out this attack. Both sides, as you say, are accusing each other. What we can say, though, is it looks very different from all those other attacks. There's thousands of attacks that we've seen inside Gaza. All the hallmarks are not necessarily of a direct strike. And this is something the Israelis were pointing out to me this morning, was that they say it comes from the propellant from a rocket, and it hasn't got the hallmarks of an Israeli airstrike. In other words, there's no crater. There's no impact crater. You see a large area that's blackened, which indicates that there's been something burning there at a very great heat. So you see all the cars are burned out. And the buildings around, there's no obvious structural damage, which again we've seen time and time again. So that does raise some questions about exactly what's happened. David?
Ian Panel with us as well. President Biden now entering the room again in Israel, having met with families just moments ago. Let's listen to the president.
Please have a seat. I come to Israel with a single message. You're not alone. You are not alone. As long as the United States stands, and we will stand forever, we'll not let you ever be alone. Most importantly, I know the recent terrorist assault on the people of this nation has left a deep, deep wound. More than 1,300 innocent Israelis killed, including at least 31 American citizens by the terrorist group Hamas. Hundreds of young people at a music festival. The festival was for peace, gunned down as they ran for their lives. Scores of innocents, from infants to elderly grandparents, Israelis and Americans, taken hostage. Children slaughtered, babies slaughtered, entire families massacred. Rape, beheadings, bodies burned alive. Hamas committed atrocities that recall the worst ravages of ISIS, unleashing pure, unadulterated evil upon the world. There's no rationalizing it, no excusing it, period. The brutality we saw would have cut deep anywhere in the world, but it cuts deeper here in Israel. October 7th, which was a sacred Jewish holiday, became the deadliest day for the Jewish people since the Holocaust. It has brought to the surface painful memories and scars left by millennia of anti-Semitism and the genocide of the Jewish people. The world watched then, it knew, and the world did nothing. We will not stand by and do nothing again. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. To those who are living in limbo, waiting desperately to learn the fate of a loved one, especially to families of the hostages, you're not alone. We're working with partners throughout the region, pursuing every avenue to bring home those who are being held captive by Hamas. I can't speak publicly about all the details, but let me assure you, for me, as the American president, there's no higher priority than the release and safe return of all these hostages. To those who are grieving, a child, a parent, a spouse, a sibling, a friend, I know you feel like there's that black hole in the middle of your chest. You feel like you're being sucked into it. The survivor's remorse, the anger, the questions of faith in your soul, staring at that empty chair, sitting Shiva, the first Sabbath without them. They're the everyday things, the small things that you miss the most. The scent when you open the closet door, the morning coffee you shared together, the bend of his smile, the perfect pitch of her laugh, the giggle of her little boy, the baby. For those who have lost loved ones, this is what I know. They'll never be truly gone. There's something that's never fully lost. Your love for them and their love for you. And I promise you, you'll be walking along some days and say, what would she or he want me to do? You smile when you pass a place that reminds you of them. That's when you know. When a smile comes to your lips before a tear to your eye, that's when you know you're going to fully make it. That's what will give you the fortitude to find light in the darkest hours. When terrorists believe they could bring you down, bend your will, break your resolve. But they never did, and they never will. Instead, we saw incredible stories of heroism and courage, Israelis taking care of one another, neighbors forming watch groups to protect their kibbutz, opening their homes to shelter survivors, retired soldiers running into danger once again, civilian medics flying across rescue missions, and off-duty medics at the music festival caring for the wounded before becoming a victim himself. Volunteers retrieving bodies of the dead so families could bury their loved ones in accordance with Jewish tradition. Reservists leaving behind their families, their honeymoons, their studies abroad without hesitation, and so much more. The state of Israel was born to be a safe place for the Jewish people of the world. That's why I was born. I've long said, if Israel didn't exist, we'd have to invent it. While it may not feel that way today, Israel must again be a safe place for the Jewish people. And I promise you, we're going to do everything in our power to make sure there will be. 75 years ago, just 11 minutes after its founding, President Harry S. Truman and the United States of America became the first nation to recognize Israel. We've stood by your side ever since. We're going to stand by your side now. My administration was in close touch with your leadership from the first moments of this attack. We're going to make sure we have what you need to protect your people, to defend your nation. For decades, we've ensured Israel's qualitative military edge. And later this week, I'm going to ask the United States Congress for an unprecedented support package for Israel's defense. We're going to keep Iron Dome fully supplied so it can continue standing sentinel over Israeli skies, saving Israeli lives. We've moved U.S. military assets to the region, including positioning the USS Ford Carrier Strike Group in the Eastern Mediterranean, with the USS Eisenhower on the way to defer further aggression against Israel and to prevent this conflict from spreading. The world will know that Israel is stronger than ever. And my message to any state or any other hostile actor thinking about attacking Israel remains the same as it was a week ago. Don't. Since this terrorist attack took place, we've seen it described as Israel's 9/11. But for a nation the size of Israel, it was like 15 9/11s. The scale may be different, but I'm sure those horrors have tapped into some kind of primal feeling in Israel, just like it did and felt in the United States. Shock, pain, rage, an all-consuming rage. I understand, and many Americans understand. You can't look at what has happened here to your mothers, your fathers, your grandparents, sons, daughters, children, even babies, and not scream out for justice. Justice must be done. But I caution this: while you feel that rage, don't be consumed by it. After 9/11, we were enraged in the United States. While we sought justice and got justice, we also made mistakes. I'm the first U.S. president to visit Israel in time of war. I've made wartime decisions. I know the choices are never clear or easy for the leadership. There's always cost, but it requires being deliberate. It requires asking very hard questions. It requires clarity about the objectives and an honest assessment about whether the path you're on will achieve those objectives. The vast majority of Palestinians are not Hamas. Hamas does not represent the Palestinian people. Hamas uses innocent families in Gaza as human shields, putting their command centers, their weapons, their communications tunnels in residential areas. Palestinian people are suffering greatly as well. We mourn the loss of innocent Palestinian lives like the entire world. I was outraged and saddened by the enormous loss of life yesterday in the hospital in Gaza. Based on the information we've seen to date, it appears the result of an errant rocket fired by a terrorist group in Gaza. The United States unequivocally stands for the protection of civilian life during conflict, and I truly grieve for the families who were killed or wounded by this tragedy. People of Gaza need food, water, medicine, shelter. Today, I asked the Israeli cabinet, who I met with for some time this morning, to agree to the delivery of life-saving humanitarian assistance to civilians in Gaza, based on the understanding that there will be inspections and that the aid should go to civilians, not to Hamas. Israel agreed the humanitarian assistance can begin to move from Egypt to Gaza. Let me be clear: if Hamas diverts or steals the assistance, they will have demonstrated once again that they have no concern for the welfare of the Palestinian people. And it will end. As a practical matter, it will stop the international community from being able to provide this aid. We're working in close cooperation with the government of Egypt, the United Nations, and its agencies like the World Food Program and other partners in the region to get trucks moving across the border as soon as possible. Separately, I ask Israel that the global community demand that the International Red Cross be able to visit hostages. I just demanded that the United States fully supports. Today, I'm also announcing $100 million in new U.S. funding for humanitarian assistance in both Gaza and the West Bank. This money will support more than 1 million displaced and conflict-affected Palestinians, including emergency needs in Gaza. You are a Jewish state. You are a Jewish state, but you're also a democracy. Like the United States, you don't live by the rules of terrorists. You live by the rule of law. So when conflicts flare, you live by the law of wars. What sets us apart from the terrorists is we believe in the fundamental dignity of every human life. Israeli, Palestinian, Arab, Jew, Muslim, Christian, everyone. You can't give up what makes you who you are. If you give that up, then the terrorists win, and we can never let them win. You know, Israel's a miracle, a triumph of faith and resolve and resilience over impossible pain and loss. Think about October 7th, the Jewish holiday, where you read about the death of Moses, a tragic story of a profound loss to an entire nation, a death that could have left hopelessness in the hearts of the entire nation. But though Moses died, his memory, his message, his lessons have lived on for generations of the Jewish people as well as many others. And just as the memory of your loved ones will live on as well. After reading the story of Moses' death, those who observe the holiday began reading the Torah from the very beginning. The story of creation reminds us of two things. First, that when we get knocked down, we get back up again and we begin anew. And second, when we're faced with tragedy and loss, we must go back to the beginning and remember who we are. We are all human beings, created in the image of God with dignity, humanity, and purpose. In the darkness, to be the light unto the world is what we're about. You inspire hope and light for so many around the world. That's what the terrorists seek to destroy. That's what they seek to destroy. Because they live in darkness, but not you, not Israel. Nations of conscience like the United States and Israel are not measured solely by the example or power, and we're measured by the power of our example. That's why, as hard as it is, we must keep pursuing peace, must keep pursuing a path so that Israel and the Palestinian people can both live safely, in security, in dignity, and in peace. For me, that means a two-state solution. We must keep working for Israel's greater integration with its neighbors. These attacks have only strengthened my commitment and determination and my will to get that done. I'm here to tell you the terrorists will not win. Freedom will win. So let me end where I began. Israel, you're not alone. The United States stands with you. I've told the story before, and I'll tell it again, of my first meeting with an Israeli prime minister 50 years ago as a young senator. I was sitting across from Golda Meir at her desk in her office. And she had a guy who later became prime minister, sitting next to me, just before the 1973 Yom Kippur War. And she flipped the maps up and down, telling me how bad things were and how terrible they were. All of a sudden, she looked at me, she said, "Would you like a photograph?" I looked at her. She got up from her desk and walked out into that hallway. I think it's marble flooring. Walked out in the hallway. We walked out, and there were a bunch of photographers standing in front of us. We were standing shoulder to shoulder. Without her looking at me, she said to me, knowing I'd hear her, "Why do you look so worried, Senator Biden?" And I said, "Worried? Like, of course I'm worried." And she looked at me, and she didn't look. She said, "Don't worry, Senator. We Israelis have a secret weapon. We have nowhere else to go." Well, today, I say to all of Israel, the United States isn't going anywhere either. We're going to stand with you. We'll walk beside you in those dark days. We'll walk beside you in the good days to come. And they will come. As you say in Hebrew, which I'm not going to attempt to do because I'm such a terrible linguist, I'll say it in English. The people of Israel live. The people of Israel live. Israel will be safe, secure, Jewish, and democratic state today, tomorrow, and forever. May God protect all those who work for peace. God save those who are still in harm's way. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, what is your red line that would prompt U.S. military involvement in this war?
Mr. President, your team said you
President Biden in Israel making remarks, obviously, on the world stage, not taking questions there in the room, certainly likely because of the magnitude of the situation that he's now trying to confront also as the president of the United States. He said, I come to Israel with a simple message. You are not alone. Went back to that message at the end of his speech there, spoke of the 31 American citizens who are among the dead as well. To the families of the hostages, he said, you are not alone. And he also went on to talk about how he will ask Congress in the coming days for money, for aid to help defend Israel, to help keep the Iron Dome fortified and to continue to protect Israel from incoming attack. He also said the vast majority of Palestinians are not Hamas. He talked about the Palestinian civilians suffering. He spoke of what we saw at the hospital in the last 24 hours, saying, given the intelligence that's been shared with him by his own defense team right now, that he believes this was an errant rocket fired by Hamas. Regardless, we know that the images have inflamed the world. We've seen the protests throughout the region. He talked about $100 million in humanitarian aid for Gaza and the West Bank. A lot of news being made by the president just moments ago. I want to bring in our chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz again. Martha, first on this point of aid for military, for protection, for defense of Israel. He will ask Congress in the coming days. He also delivered this message, Martha, not directly to Israel, but it can be inferred that's who he was talking to. You actually reported here on our air in the past days that this would be the message he would deliver. Don't be consumed by rage. He talked about the U.S. saying we have made mistakes before, in particular after 9/11. And he reminded the world that Israel is a democracy and must act in accordance to rules of law, not the rules of the terrorists. And obviously, they don't have any.
Exactly. It was a somber and steadfast speech, David, and the message he gave was very clear and very tough. And the White House had said that President Biden would be asking tough questions of Netanyahu and reminding him of the United States' own experience after 9/11 and the fallout from that. We were a country that everyone sided with and felt so bad for, and then went into Iraq, and that tide turned. He does not want to see that happen here. He wants Israel to keep in mind what's happened in the past and learn from those past lessons as they, as planned, go into Gaza, and to certainly think about civilian casualties, to certainly think about the Arab and Muslim world as well, and grinding home that message that all Palestinians do not support Hamas, and that aid package to the West Bank and Gaza will mean a lot to the people there. And Joe Biden really hammered that message home, David.
Martha, my thanks to you. I want to bring in Ian Pannell again. And Ian, you heard the president there say that he has asked the Israeli cabinet to open up some sort of route, obviously through Egypt, to try to get aid to civilians inside Gaza, and saying if there's any evidence that Hamas tries to steal that aid as it's coming in, there would be action taken. But he did say that the Israeli cabinet heard that message from the president and that this will be an effort as well that we see in the coming days.
Yeah, that's right. A message of support, solidarity, but also of moderation, and moderation not just in terms of appealing to Israel not to feel the anger, but not to be consumed by it. Also a message that aid package that was going to be delivered to the people of Gaza and the West Bank, handing out some kind of olive leaf saying that there was some kind of humanitarian corridor. I mean, we know the Secretary of State Blinken has been trying to work on this as well. I think it's an important message, that very, very rare cancellation by the King of Jordan of the meeting with President Biden. President Biden's about to go down that road any minute now. He was about to fly to Jordan and meet with the leaders of Jordan, of Egypt, and of the Palestinian Authority. They pulled out of this meeting. It was a real snub for President Biden, and also the attempt to try and bring along wider regional support. I just want to pick up on one other thing. President Biden made it very clear that he said that clearly not all the Palestinian people are Hamas. But the longer conflicts go on, the more radicalized people become. And we actually saw protests today in the West Bank where people were calling out in support of Hamas. Hamas does not rule the West Bank. And it just shows the dangers which the US is acutely aware of a spread in this conflict, but also of radicalization. David?
Very good point, Ian. Panel also in the region for us, Ian. Thank you. One last question to our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce. Mary, you heard the president say he will ask Congress for help, for money, for aid for the defense of Israel. He also spoke of the $100 million in humanitarian aid for Gaza and the West Bank. And as Ian just pointed out, the second part of this trip, and it was crucial, meeting with leaders of the Arab world was canceled given the images that came out of that hospital in the last 24 hours. But the president and this White House thought it was very important to keep this trip moving forward. He went to Israel anyway.
And David, there is no question this is the most difficult and sensitive diplomatic mission of this presidency so far. You just saw the president trying to balance this impossible tightrope of showing unwavering support for Israel, grieving with Israel, while also trying to tamp down rising tension, trying to address this humanitarian crisis and prevent this from becoming a wider war. You have mentioned this, but it stands out and it bears repeating, that caution that he had for Israel. While he is vowing that Israel will once again be a safe place for Jewish people, the president with that blunt message, don't be consumed by your rage. Don't make the same mistakes that the U.S. did after 9/11. Be deliberate, he said, have clarity about your objectives. And while he did again speak to the Palestinian people, noting that Hamas doesn't represent them and calling for Israel and Egypt and others to allow aid to finally flow into Gaza, what you didn't hear, David, was any assurances that he may have gotten from Netanyahu or any assurances that he is hoping to get from Egypt, that this aid will finally be able to flow. And that is part of the reason, David, that this is such a diplomatic high wire for this president.
Mary Bruce live at the White House for us. Mary Bruce, Martha Raddatz, and panel, and all of our teams and crews, photographers across the region, we thank you. We'll continue to report this story out. The entire team will be back for World News Tonight a little later today. We return you now to regular programming. I'm David Muir in New York. For many of you, it's back to Good Morning America in the West. Good day.
This has been a special report from ABC News.
Thank you. You know, as you know, I highly recommend it.
Yes.
Anybody out there?
Yes.
I married my band camp buddy from way back when we were in middle school. We met actually before she was 12, I was 13 or 14, and we met at summer band camp.
That's incredible.
So we've been knowing each other for many years through different phases, and it's a beautiful thing to marry somebody that you really know before everything.
And she's a writer and an artist and an
Yes.
activist.
Oh,
and
incredible.
She's everything.
Yeah, she's got like many different careers. She writes, she paints. When we met in band camp, she was playing the classical double bass. Then she went to school. She was a journalist. It's incredible what she's been able to do. She wrote a memoir, and I'm just grateful that we have this body of friends and family. It's a community. When you come to our house, everybody's welcome. But it's just like the thing that everything that I do is for that.
Yeah. It's when I think of a couple, the two of you both use every side of your brain, every part of your brain. You know, there are left brain people, right brain people, but you two are like both brained people.
Oh, you gotta use it while you can. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. So you and your wife, Suleika is her name.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have a documentary that's coming out. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Okay, so it started out as a documentary about a symphony that was premiering at Carnegie Hall last year.
Mm-hmm.
And American Symphony is the name of this piece. It was this incredible experience to build this new symphony. Imagine, like, what would Beethoven create if he was born in 2023 today?
Right.
What would that sound like? But it changed over the course of filming, because the week that we started filming, we found out that Suleika's leukemia returned. There's also the week that I got nominated for 11 Grammys. So the documentary follows the highs and lows.
Wow, the pendulum really swings.
And it's just one of those things that it's hard to really describe how it felt to capture it, but I'm so grateful that we decided to keep filming.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's such a lesson that we learned watching how we navigated this time. And I think other people can take so much away from different aspects of it.
Yeah.
Well,
How is she doing?
she's doing a lot better.
Great.
I'm hearing a lot of good things. Hey, listen, we have to take a break, but Jon Batiste is going to perform for us later in the show.
You're not
All
gonna-
right, so please. You're not gonna miss it. Coming up next, Corbin Bleu.
Still ahead, alive. You don't want to miss New York State's largest book kit. for you, dear. Anything.
80% or more of your puppy's lifetime growth happens in the first year.
For you, I'd do anything. I'd do anything. I'd do anything. Anything for you.
She was a journalist. It's incredible what she's been able to do.
Oh, so Jon Batiste was the first guest. It's funny, you made it sound like Corbin Bleu was the first guest, and then Jon Batiste was performing, but
Cash allowance plus 1,000
that's not
bonus
the way
cash.
it is,
on the
is it now, you
2023
liars?
1,500.
He acts, he sings, he dances, and you can see him do it all live on stage right now in Little Shop of Horrors. Please welcome Corbin Bleu.
It's so funny. I'm watching Jon Batiste glitter get passed from you to Corbin.
Just everywhere.
Yes. So last time you were here, we were talking about you renovating.
Yes.
You recently completed your renovation of your dream house. How is your dream house? Have you gotten to spend any time in it?
So we finished renovation.
Yeah.
Immediately afterward, I went to Connecticut to go work on a production of a show called Summer. I went back home for 5 days, and then I came here to start working on Little Shop.
Amazing.
You were hands-on. You really did a lot.
Yes. So as you both know, I started in this industry as a kid. I've been doing this literally my entire life. And a few years ago, I felt like I needed to do something outside of it to just, get a little bit of a fresh take, and felt like, okay, you know what? We're going to do the house. Why don't I actually get hands-on with it and start to work on it myself?
Did you have any guys with you?
We did. Oh, absolutely. Okay. But I also got my hands dirty and got in there as well.
What was the biggest takeaway? How are they?
That I belong in the entertainment industry.
I was gonna say, most people, a couple of years ago, were just like, you know what? I need a break from the entertainment industry. I'm going to learn how to bake banana bread. But you were like, I'm going to build a house.
Absolutely.
That's a big undertaking.
And we have our house now. It's beautiful. I can't wait to finally go back.
It's going to be brand new forever.
Exactly.
It's going to have a new house smell.
We need to take a little break. When we come back, we're going to talk about a guy named Seymour. Stick around.
Tomorrow on Live, Fisher Stevens.
I'm Brian Gary, and today we're talking about the biggest misconception there is about replacement windows. I'm here with Ted Coons, the project manager for Renewal by Anderson, to talk about it.
Yeah, one of the big things we hear from homeowners is, I shouldn't need to replace my windows, they're just not that old. But here's the thing, home builders put in high-end kitchens and bathrooms, and low-end windows just aren't that good. So even if your windows are only 7 to 10 years old, they may still need to be replaced.
Ted, there's so many...
I'm sure there's lots of things that I basically, that.
We're back with Corbin Bleu, star of Little Shop of Horrors. Oh, that beloved musical. You're playing Seymour.
Yes.
Which is, I would think, a departure from you to play the sort of withdrawn, insecure.
I do tend to play characters that have a lot of confidence.
Right.
And especially the last several shows in New York that I've done, I played roles that were originated by Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire, all these very charming leading men, and playing Seymour, just a down and out florist, very nerdy. It's so fun.
Yeah, what's it like working with the puppet, the man-eating puppet?
I said it last year. I said I want to do a show with puppets. I was like, maybe I should try to find a fun little production of Avenue Q or something. And lo and behold, this came to fruition. And I feel like as a dancer, the puppetry, it just feels like choreography.
Right.
However, when you're working with the puppet and you start to watch it, and I'm like, I know my hand is in there,
right?
But
this is its own character, and you really start to see it take shape as you start to move with it. And
Did you get nominated for 2 Tonys?
and the Tony goes to Corbin's head.
Listen, we love having you on the show. It's always great to see you. Thank you, Corbin. Little Shop of Horrors is at the West Side Theater in New York City. All the information's on our website. Up next, New York's largest pumpkin. Stick around.
Want to know more about Live? Just go to our website.
Oh, great. Go ahead. What's on the next Killian mark? Blah, 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 blah. Go ahead. Come on, Deja. Oh, beautiful. Happy anniversary.
Live? Just go to our website.
This is what folks look like before our show. And this is what they look like after.
Honey, you want to try that again? Next live, Fisher Stevens and Casey Cott. Plus live.
Great. No captions on any of this shit. So it's a little
This is what folks look like before our show. And this is what they look like after.
Honey, you want to try that again? Next live, Fisher Stevens and Casey Cott. Plus live Halloween.
This is what folks look like before our show. And this is what they look like after.
Honey, you want to try that again? Next live, Fisher Stevens and Casey Cott.
Sure. Why don't we fucking...
Honey, you want to try that again? Next live, Fisher Stevens and...
This is what folks look like before our show. And this is what they look like after.
Honey, you want to try that again? Next live, Fisher Stevens.
Look at that Emmy-nominated worthy award acting. Look at that Emmy-worthy acting. The fact that you guys are passed up, and daytime Emmys are different. You weren't even nominated for a daytime Emmy. So you were just like cult classics. You just had a cult following of people that just loved. You were almost like what's the word? Almost like I want to compare you to like a real world relationship, like. I mean,
930-5830. That's 847-930-5830. Call now.
That time of year again. It's the most important segment we do year after year. The largest pumpkin in New York State is here, okay? Weighing in at a whopping 2,245.5 pounds, please welcome the grower of the beautiful pumpkin, Scott Andrews. Thank you. Great to see you again. This is Scott's second year in a row growing the largest pumpkin in New York City. I never get tired of it. You hold the ultimate record from last year. Last year's pumpkin is even bigger than this year's pumpkin.
Last year's was heavier, but this one's actually larger size-wise.
Oh, larger, but yet
Not
less
heavy enough.
dense.
Not, yeah.
All right, should we see it?
Yeah, let's
All
see
right,
that.
bring it out. Let's bring it
I mean, this pumpkin is my best friend. Scott, did you use the same seed from last year?
Yeah, same seed as the same pump one last year's.
And are you going to use the seeds from this one for next year, do you think?
Definitely going to use the seed.
Wow.
Oh,
I love that. How did...
She's orange.
Yeah, she's really orange. Last year was a little more pale.
It was a slight.
And why did it just...
They just vary. Every seed varies. You could get a green one, you could get a yellow one, or an orange one.
What's your secret to growing these pumpkins, besides the fact that you are very large yourself?
Yeah.
Well, it's I mix it's my semen. I mix in my semen with I mix in steroids with my semen, and yeah.
You could get a yellow one or an orange one.
What's your secret to growing these pumpkins, besides the fact that you are very large yourself?
Yeah.
Well, I mix my semen in with my own shit. So I make my own fertilizer, and the secret is I mix in my own semen with it.
You could get a yellow one or an orange one.
What's your secret to growing these pumpkins, besides the fact that you...
Oh, come on, you stupid fucking son of a bitch.
Every seed varies. You could get a green one, you could get a yellow one or an orange one.
What's your secret to growing these pumpkins?
I use my own homemade fertilizer out of my ass, and the secret is I mix my shit with my semen and a little bit of my wife's breast milk, and that's and I mix it with the dirt, which is
besides the fact that
is Kentucky black dirt. Sit down. Sit down. You obviously need to cover all of your fingerprints. You got to cover your face. You got to cover any shoe prints. Any what's it called?
What's your secret to growing these pumpkins, besides the fact that you are very large yourself?
Yeah, that's the seed. 1,600 square foot for a plant, 40 by 40, and we use about this much dirt.
Yeah.
They love the dirt.
Do you talk to the pumpkin?
Oh yeah, we talk to them.
What do you say to her?
Sometimes we yell and scream when we're too busy working, but usually we talk lovingly to them.
Yeah. I mean, I talk lovingly to this pumpkin. I love this.
Any like special fertilizers or
a lot of nitrogen in the spring just to get her going good, then potassium to build her up at the end to keep her gaining weight, but it didn't work. It just made it pretty this year.
She's very firm.
She's really pretty.
Very
and
firm.
Potassium. I mean, she's so big, I would think plutonium.
Oh, Kelly, there you go. Why aren't you at the Comedy Store doing a half an hour every Wednesday afternoon at 3?
Going good, then potassium to build her up at the end to keep her gaining weight, but it didn't work. It just made it pretty this year.
She's very firm.
She's really pretty.
Very
and
firm.
Potassium. I mean, she's so big, I would think plutonium.
It's so big, Mario Lopez is going to come from backstage with his pants pulled down. It's so big, Mark Consuelos actually has his pants unzippered right now, and he is getting off. Oh, God. It's so big, you're going to have to give it's so big, Mark Consuelos won't be able to move from behind the pumpkin for about 16 seconds. Wow, were there this many holes in the pumpkin when you brought it out? No.
Hey, listen, congratulations. Thank you. Come back and...
Yes, potassium. We all know it's full of potassium, don't we, followers?
I think plutonium.
Hey, listen, congratulations. Thank you. Come back and see us next year, I'm sure. Coming up next, Jon Batiste is on. Oh, yes.
Will be in the New York City Botanical Garden in the Bronx, October 21st to 29th. Go see her.
New York Botanical Garden.
Tomorrow on Live, the Moulin Rouge, Casey Cott.
I know what it's like to...
Oh, now he's a multiple Grammy Award-winning artist. Now all of a sudden he's an artist. He's not even the musical guy for Colbert anymore. In 30 years, you're gonna look back to him being like the musical guest for Colbert, and you're gonna see the same thing you saw when you see Jay Leno guest hosting for Carson.
The old house. It can be hard to find great people.
Our dedicated Pella advisor was a godsend.
We had confidence in Pella. They sold over 5 million replacement windows and doors.
So we knew our local team would be on top of every detail.
And the installation was done in just a day.
Mom, the kitchen sink's broken again.
I wish Pella did plumbing.
Hurry, replacement windows are on sale now. Schedule a free in-home consultation for details.
How do you find the right attorney? Do the math. An attorney with no experience? No way! They have experience, but no results? Not good. Now, if you have experience and results, that's Lerner and Rowe. Call 222-2222.
On the next Tamron Hall, what are you in the mood for? It's Tamron's tasting table with the Tamtham's favorite chefs. Plus, Tamron's cooking up a surprise. Come hungry, next Tamron Hall.
Today at 1 on ABC 7.
Gorgeous, right?
Jon Batiste's new album is available now. Here he is with Worship. Jon.
I got no fire, I got no tires, I'm so glad, you know it makes me say, it's only you that makes me all I am. It's only you that makes me all I am. It's only you that makes me all I am, It's only you that makes me all I am. It's only you that makes me all I am. It's only you that makes me all I am, all I am, all I am. We are born to sing, to turn to that place. We are born to sing, to turn to that place. We are born to sing. Hey. Oh, my mother, oh, my father, oh, my brother, oh, my sister, oh, my brother, oh, my mother, oh, my father, oh, my sister, oh, my brother, oh, my father. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only you that makes me all I am. It's only you that makes me all I am. It's only you that makes me all I am, all I am, all I am. Let me hear you. His new album, World Music Radio, is available now. Make sure you check out American Symphony. Will be released September 29th on Netflix. That was incredible. Live will return in a moment.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season on jewelry and accessories now. Like 65% off Effie, 60% off diamond earrings and pendants, and 75% off gold and silver necklaces. Plus, download the app for more great deals at Macy's.
We want our cats to be happy, but when they spray outside the litter box, fight with other house cats, or scratch the furniture, they could be telling you they're stressed. To help them feel more calm, plug in Feel Away Optimum. Enhanced calming for cats from the #1 vet-recommended brand for feline calming.
A lot of people need to replace their windows or patio doors, but they put it off because they think it'll be too expensive. Hi, I'm Ann Romer. I'm here with Michael Smith from Renewal by Anderson. You
don't comp it because what are they gonna do? Come back and then complain again, and you're just giving them free food? If you don't comp it and then they're mad and they don't come back, Well, you don't want them to come back because they're going to come back wanting a discounted free food all the time. And chances are, if you do comp it and they don't come back, there's a chance that you comp it, they're not going to come back anyways.
Support. Cunol, the brand I trust.
You gotta.
Yeah.
Don't forget tomorrow's show. Fisher Stevens will be here.
And my dear friend Casey Cott will be
Yes.
here.
Okay. Now, what do you have there?
Our very own Deja.
Our very own
She
Deja.
mistakenly ate a pepper this summer on her first night in Greece. She thought it was a zucchini, and she ate the entire pepper in one night.
Oh no!
It was horrible.
What happened?
My mouth was on fire. I was just going in because the food was so good.
Yes.
And I ate it. I was like, this is not zucchini. I thought I was going to die.
Sometimes peppers disguise themselves as zucchini.
Exactly. I was a TikTok trend before I knew it.
Yes.
Either that's one humongous hot pepper, which doesn't exist because hot peppers, usually the smaller they are, the hotter they are. The brighter they are, the hotter they are. Usually you don't get really spicy peppers that are the size of a zucchini. So that was either a very small zucchini or it was a very big pepper. Are you sure it wasn't a squash blossom that you were eating?
I thought I was going to die.
Sometimes peppers disguise themselves as zucchini.
Exactly. I was a TikTok trend before I knew it.
Yes. Laura McComb from Michigan said, I recently made a spicy margarita with a habanero from my garden, accidentally bit into the pepper and felt my lip burn and my voice got hoarse. It wasn't pleasant. I'm so glad you didn't rub them on your lips. You would have been miserable the rest of the day. I'm usually miserable the rest of the day.
There she goes again. She's so funny.
Denise from Centerville, Virginia said,
Fake
Kelly,
husband laugh.
don't do it. I've done it before many years ago. Rather, someone rubbed a habanero lightly on my lips as a joke. I wonder who that someone is.
Was it
was
Mark?
so hot. It was actually painful. It was many years ago, and I still remember it. Okay, so that's... I'm glad I didn't do it, I suppose.
Yeah.
I suppose. And like I said, don't forget, tomorrow we've got Fisher Stevens, we've got Casey Cott, and a look at the best fall foods.
Yeah.
But not this
one. We're not going to eat this one.
See you tomorrow, everybody.
You have to eat that one, though. Like, that's terrible. That's terrible, though. Think of how many people that can feed, how many starving people that could feed in a kitchen, a soup pit, how much soup that can make in a soup kitchen. Look, you know what you do? You take pictures, you go make the rounds, you enter contests, you win your awards, you win your blue ribbons, you get your money. It's Halloween time, and then you could still cut it open and still use it. You don't just have to sit it and let it rot till like fucking December. You don't have to like keep it till December, let it wither away. Once it's like October 31st, you could, win a contest, cut it open, and start cooking it and have like fucking award-winning pumpkin soup. Hell, you could probably charge like $20 a bowl at a restaurant or something. You could make a whole event out of it. You could make money to help charities. You could give it away for free. Come on, people. You just like, we're never eating this. Didn't you see that Cosby show? That one Cosby show where Cliff? Didn't you see that one Cosby show where Cliff was Did you see that one Cosby show where Cliff got second place in his squash competition? And it was second place. And the first place one they put up in like behind glass and they showcase it, but the second place you take home and he didn't want to cut into it. Come on, man. You watch the episode. It's from the early ones back when he was really raping these women. Allegedly. Wait, was it?
This morning. The View starts live right now. Meet in the Middle East. The president touches down on a tightrope in war-torn Israel after a missile strike kills hundreds in a Gaza hospital. As he pledges who the U.S. stands with,
we will continue to have Israel's back.
He makes a plea for innocent Palestinians caught in crossfire.
Hamas does not represent all the Palestinian people. It has brought them only suffering.
Is this a balancing act that's impossible to pull off? Then, MSNBC's Rachel Maddow is taking on hot topics from the war in Israel to chaos in Congress
and the history of fighting fascism in America. Plus, superstar and American icon.
Importance of showing your support today, right here at 11.
All right.
Enjoy your Thursday.
That right there is the end of season 2, episode 32. Now, Sans monologue. We missed that out because of the breaking news, so I'm going to put it on my phone, and we're going to get the monologue because fill in the blanc fills in your blank. And I'm about to put some peanut butter up in that jelly hole. I'm going to jam it in your jelly hole. Damn it. God. All right. Season 2, episode 32, October 18th. So just bear with me, or you could fast forward a few minutes. Uh-huh. 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 Let's see what we got here. Let's see if people give me some thumbs up, right? Yeah. We're working hard for you. I took him home. All right. Well, let's see what we got here.
October 18th, 2023. Happy Hump Day, everybody.
Wow, what a beautiful crowd we have today. Yeah. Audience.
Nothing says 9 a.m. like a big bowl of peppers and rubber gloves.
You want to get into it now?
I'm just staring at it
staring
because how can I not? It's right here. Are these your peppers, Gelman?
Yes, those are habaneros from my garden.
Straight from your garden.
Well, straight from the freezer because I didn't know we were going to be using them, so I put them away for winter.
Because she said she wanted to use them to plump up her lips.
Well, I saw this thing on TikTok because I clicked on an article. Never click. Never click, everyone. Scrolling my news feed, and it said, the most effective way to plump up your lips without lip filler or something. And I was like, click! And up comes TikTok. And right away, I'm alarmed because I'm like, how did I get TikTok?
Right.
I don't have TikTok.
I don't want TikTok.
I don't want TikTok. And now TikTok is in me. And so I watch these girls putting spicy peppers on their lips. And the next thing you know,
plump.
Plump. But Gelman was saying that these are a different variety of pepper.
Yeah, I looked at one of the. To me, like the one that I saw, it was
Just the one. You just saw the one, Gelman.
Nah, these are about, you have the Scoville scale there, but it's about 5 times hotter than a jalapeno. So I don't know if people are.
Yeah.
We also have a whole article by the dangers of putting.
Yeah, it's very dangerous. You could have dirty fingers, they say, and if you put it on your lips, it's unsanitary. It's
I think you know my fingers are.
Once you touch,
eat off of my fingers.
Once you touch these things and you touch something else, it's very irritating. It can be very, very dangerous.
Yes, remember when Kyle made his guacamole and accidentally touched the spicy peppers and then
he touched his no-no place.
Yes. That was the day the barbecue was.
Do you want to do this?
Well,
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
You have lip gloss on.
I understand that. I can wipe that off. Let's see. What kind of pepper is this?
It's a habanero.
It's
I think
habanero.
Yeah.
It's the kind marked.
Very hot.
Right, yeah,
250
very hot.
on the scope. And what's the other kind of? Oh, I see. Oh, this seems much hotter than the peppers than TikTok.
I wouldn't do it.
Really?
Yeah, don't do it.
Should I do it?
No.
Do I want to try one? No. I'm not going to try one. I'm just going to do
There's
this
like
one.
one young lady in the front row that's like, do
I'm
it.
going to touch it right
Do
here.
it. You're the person I would go to the club with. Do it. Do it.
I just touched the seed.
And?
It's hot.
It's hot?
It's very
What's
hot.
happening? What's happening?
It's I feel heat.
Warm.
I feel heat. By the way.
Don't rub your eyes.
By the way, did you notice something today?
You're naked.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah. There's a little bend. There's a little bend in it though, like that carrot commercial. There's just a slight. There's a slight, and sometimes it gets tired and it goes like that. But I'm gonna put it back on later because I have to go work out. But I feel good. I feel like myself again.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Well,
Yeah.
that ended
that
the
tea?
pepper talk.
Yeah.
All roads lead back to the finger.
Are you gonna try it?
I guess I'm not going to try it. I'm
It's
a
too
little
hot.
afraid.
Yeah.
I'm not
Habaneros.
afraid about my lips. I'm afraid about my eyes.
Yeah.
And the whole rest of the show.
Right. Maybe
What
at
if
the
you
end.
touch your
Consider
well,
it.
you can wear the glove, but then if you touch
No,
your
I-
lip and touch your
It's
eye,
not even about that. I can feel like my eyes almost feel like they're watering with this exposure from the cut peppers here. So I'm a little concerned about it. As a professional.
Yes. And you were very.
As a vain person, I still want to try it. But that's
We'll try. Yeah, we should.
maybe I'll do it after my work is done.
Yes.
And then I'll just see what happens.
I went to Moulin Rouge last night.
You did. Did you love it?
Let me tell you something. You know me in plays and musicals, right?
Well,
I always
famously you fall asleep.
I bring a little jacket because I can make a little pillow for me. I didn't blink. It was so fun. By the moment you walk in, the set design, the production, it's absolutely gorgeous. People are taking photos. They have to tell people, say, listen, the show's going to start in 2 minutes. No more photos. It's absolutely stunning. My dear friend, who's going to be on the show tomorrow.
Yeah, Casey Cott.
Yeah.
Casey Cott's going to be here. Yeah.
That's me backstage.
Look at you. Is that his dressing room?
That's his dressing room. Yeah.
Wow.
Fancy dressing room.
Broadway dressing room.
Well,
come a long way.
He's the lead of the show.
And, you know, he has a new baby. So you have to understand that all of these things, like he's doing a morning show. He has a new baby at home. He's
married.
On Broadway. Right. What I'm saying is, like, these things do not necessarily.
And the job that he does.
Yeah.
I think they sing like 70 different cool like pops, all the songs that you know, and then they interweave them into the play. And his voice. I knew he had a beautiful voice.
He has a beautiful voice.
And every now and then when we worked together, he would sing something, and I'm like, wow, you have a really great voice. And I know that's what he went to school for. He absolutely destroyed it. I was so proud of him. I felt like he was my son.
Yeah.
You know, I was so moved.
Well, he could be your son.
He could be my son. You know, he's a brother. He's definitely a brother. He did such a good job. Courtney Reed also played opposite him, and Titus Burgess was there.
Wow.
He was amazing.
So, you know, we on this show, before I ever met Casey through you, I knew Casey's brother because Casey's brother was on this show.
And he was there last night.
Oh, no kidding.
Corey Cott.
Yeah, Corey Cott.
From Newsies and from
Bandstand. Yeah,
maybe.
He's like a very famous Broadway guy, and he was on our show. So he was like, you know my brother. And I was staring at him like, do I know your brother? And then he took me down there.
So if you're in New York or you're planning to come to New York, go see Moulin Rouge. It's been running for a long time.
Yeah.
It's absolutely. Go see it. Go see it. I had such a good time. I
didn't recognize you last night when you came home. You came zipping into the bedroom, singing and dancing, all hopped up, and he goes, I stayed awake.
Hey, do you like to board the plane first, or do you like to board the plane last? Does it matter to you?
Why do you play this game when you know? Here's what Mark will say to the gate person. He says to them, my wife likes to board the plane first. If there's any way you can make that happen. Knowing full well that I want to be the last person on the plane.
And I want to be the first, behind the people that, you know, need assistance, and behind the military personnel. Although they see me sometimes, they go, when they say military can come on, they go, sir, would you like to come on? I said, no, I'm going to stay back. I'm going to stay back.
No, but it is really bizarre the way you will use me as some shield by saying my wife likes to board the plane first.
I love to be on first.
And I'm behind him going.
I was scarred because once I got on and I didn't have room for my carry-on. And I carry on. I don't check. I carry on. And it scarred me. Anyway, United Airlines.
You want to talk about being scarred? Try taking a 2-week vacation with Mark and him telling you can only bring one carry-on bag. Okay?
I've relaxed on that a little bit.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've relaxed on that a little bit.
I can't wait to take a trip soon.
United Airlines is to change its boarding process a win for window seats. So what they're doing is they let, first class and the other plane, and then the next boarding is, I think they let windows in.
Yeah,
because you know how
you
don't have to climb over people, so they don't let people with the window seats.
Yeah.
Show of hands, how many strangers' crotches have you had in your face? How many? I mean, where you're just like
the other direction when you.
Honestly, please. The other direction is also a horror show. It's just like it's an embarrassment of terrible situations. You're just
to me the horror is when the whole plane is inside the plane waiting for that one person to just do all their stuff, and they don't have. It's like when you're at a parking lot.
Oh, there's no
and
awareness.
Somebody gets in the car and they see you waiting for them to back out, and they take their time.
They check their text messages.
They just they're checking. They're like, I got it. Wait a minute, I'm going. It's the same that one person. Or when you're going through TSA and the person that's beeping. I'm like, dude, take your phone out of your pocket and your wallet. Take everything out. He's taking things out. I'm like, you didn't know this was about to happen. You didn't know you were about to go through a metal detector.
I always wear, and you've questioned me about this, but I always wear the same exact outfit on an airplane every single time I travel because it doesn't beep. And so I know that it doesn't beep from my underpants to my shoes to my blouse to the jeans. And he's always like, oh, you're putting your travel costume on. And I go, it doesn't beep. You're welcome. Because if you find that outfit that doesn't beep, it should be mandatory that you wear that outfit every single time you travel.
Yes. No underwire.
Yeah. No underwire. That's right, Gelman. I haven't worn underwire ever. What's underwire? No, I've seen the commercials on TV. So just a quick reminder that our Halloween costume contest is upon us.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
First of all, you can join us live Halloween morning right here at our New York City studios dressed in your costume. So that's one way to win. Or if you can't make it to the show, you can enter at home. It's our at-home Halloween costume contest by submitting photos of your costume online. It's all very exciting.
Yes.
We're giving away a ton of money and a bunch of prizes.
It's not too late. It's not too late to enter. So go to our website for all the details. Here are a couple of entries we've received. Now, these are not necessarily the finalists.
Gelman wants us to point out that you probably are not finalists.
I didn't say that. Not necessarily. Here we go.
Not necessarily.
The Shining Twins, Chris and Chris. Sawmiller, they're from Michigan. They're
How many
husband and
times
wife.
have I tried to get you to be the Shining Twins with me?
I would do it. Next year.
I've moved on from you. I've asked Audrey to
Next year.
because I really think that's the best costume.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. How about this one? This is a very relevant costume. Paul Zakshevsky from Saddlebrook, New Jersey. He's a spotted lanternfly. If you know, you know. I think whoever he's married to should go as a sneaker.
This is the Exorcist baby, Chip Austin from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
That is terrifying.
I'm putting my money on Chip. I'm putting my money on Chip.
Hey, how about Piano Girl, Deborah Garrett from Friendsville, Tennessee?
Love it.
I love those costumes when they have a fake pair of legs.
Yeah.
Or, if they put a baby in a hat on the shoulders of the dad. I'm always mesmerized as to where the body parts are.
This is Amy Sherman from Post Falls, Idaho. She's the Mad Hatter. That's a great costume.
Very good costume. And just to remind you again, you are probably not finalists. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, she's
this
not.
year we will be
She's
awarding
lying.
prizes
kidding.
combining over
She's lying about her
$10,000.
kidding and she's telling the truth.
Yeah, $10,000 in combined prizes.
Yeah, also, today is your podcast, and your guest is Jada Pinkett Smith. I listened to it.
It was amazing. Tell us, Mark.
To her, so
Sell it, Mark. I
spoke
listened to it.
to
Wow.
Jada,
It was so good. It was so riveting.
about 3 weeks ago, and I know that everybody thinks that it's all out there.
You're so bad at fucking plugging your shit. It's a really
fascinating,
fascinating. Look, your husband's got to chime in. It's a fascinating, really conversation. Yes. Yeah. Check it out. It's great.
Also, today on this here show, Jon Batiste will perform for us.
also we have the lovely Corbin Bleu here. Yeah.
And I already had my picture taken with him this morning. I don't know why I decided it's a him, but in my mind it's a him.
I think
maybe it's
the
a
owner
her.
says it's a her.
Okay, so it's a girl, but I said him.
Okay.
We have the New York State's largest pumpkin, and my new best friend. 2,200 pounds, over 22.
Yeah.
She is gorgeous.
That's a ton, yeah. Beautiful.
Gorgeous, just gorgeous.
Yeah.
I took the picture and I sent it to Joaquin, of course, first thing this morning, because I was like, our favorite celebrity is here. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready? It's time to play.
All right.
Gelman, might I ask that we move these peppers back into the freezer? Because my eyes are tearing.
That's it, yeah. Let's move right over
And
there.
my false eyelashes are coming up.
That's not good. All right, let's say hello to Maria Lamb from Howell, New Jersey, who watches the show on WABC. Hello, Maria. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
All right. Okay, you know how to play this game. You've given us two statements. One is true, one is false. I have 60 seconds to decide which is the truth. If you stump me, you will win this.
And this.
All right. Here are your two statements, Maria. I drive on the Garden State Parkway 4 times a week, but don't have an easy pass.
What?
Or I have never been to a New Jersey casino. Okay. You don't like the casinos, Maria?
All right, first impression guess. First impression guess. Drives Garden State Parkway 4 times a week, but doesn't have an easy pass. I guess that's possible, but I've never been to a New Jersey casino. I'm going to say the casino's a lie. I'm going to say it's true that she drives Garden State Parkway 4 times a week, but doesn't have an easy pass. Put it in the comment sections and subscribe for notifications.
Okay. Don't have an easy pass.
What?
Or I have never been to a New Jersey casino. Okay. You don't like the casinos, Maria?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right.
Do you ever go to the casinos in Connecticut?
No, I don't go to casinos at all.
Okay.
All right. You don't like playing the slots?
No, I don't like to lose my money.
You don't like to lose your money. You're smart.
No.
You're smart. So you drive on the Garden State Parkway, and
Yes,
you don't have an easy pass. Explain that.
No, I do not.
I thought you don't like to lose money. Once in a while, I wake up and just say things.
I thought the
Does that
easy
mean
pass
you go through the
cost money.
cash. You paid the little cash thing.
Yeah, it's the principle of the thing. I just don't want to have one.
What's the principle you're standing on?
That I just don't want them to charge things to my credit card. And they make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, they do. They do make a lot of
They
mistakes.
They do.
They have photo evidence of your car as it goes through, so they make a lot of mistakes. Not only do you not need an easy pass these days,
Are you married to a
I know
mobster?
for a fact that you can just drive through because it takes a picture of your license plate, Maria.
Does it?
Oh, it does.
That's never happened to me.
I bet it hasn't. So, I gotcha.
I still like the principle of I am not for convenience.
Fight the man. So you don't have to go to the toll booth. You can just drive through the fast one, and they'll just send you a little bill, and you pay it. That's how it works. So I'm gonna say that the true statement is that you drive on that Garden State Parkway.
I agree.
And you don't have an easy pass.
Mark.
You're wrong.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah, I was right. Okay. Damn, I gotta keep track of my stats.
You don't get an easy pass anymore. Why? Because they can take a picture of your license plate.
Oh, you're so smart.
Then you get fined, no?
No, They send you the bill.
They just send you the bill?
Yeah. Who's your credit card? They send you. Yeah.
I mean,
it's all working here today.
I
went
went
to Moulin Rouge
I need
last
to
night.
stop taking
I'm
the train. I need to stop taking the train
So you
to
don't
New
gotta-
Jersey. I was like, wow, a lot's changed.
So you don't gotta pay for an easy pass,
Very upset that I won just now.
and you don't. So
Oh,
just
I
drive
know
through,
he is.
and you'll just pay it all later. Pay at the end of the
All
month,
right,
like
so
keeping
Maria,
a bar
you didn't win a
tab.
mug. You didn't win a shirt, but you still have a chance to win a great trip. You do. Let's play Pack Your Bags Travel Trivia.
Yes. That's Bianca Wilson from Chicago, Illinois.
That made me happy.
Deja, spin that wheel to see what else Maria's playing for. Pants. Okay, you're playing for a trip for two to the Los Establos Boutique in Panama. 8 days, 7 nights in a premium suite. It includes, you know the routine, 3 premium meals daily, 1 premium excursion per day. It's a prize valued at $8,000 premium dollars. You have 20 seconds and only one guess. Maria, good luck.
All right, Maria, here we go. On yesterday's show, what did we say a Missouri man used for a boat to set a 38-mile world record?
He did 38 miles in a
Pumpkin.
1,200-pound pumpkin boat.
It's a pumpkin boat. I knew that. I fucking knew that.
Congratulations! You and a guest will enjoy 8 days and 7 nights at the Los Establos Boutique Inn in Panama. Situated on 16 beautiful acres of coffee farm, Los Establos Boutique Inn offers spacious suites, magnificent views, and luxurious hotel amenities. Enjoy the spectacular panorama of Volcano Baru, Panama's only volcano. Plus, choose from a variety of exciting activities, including zip lining through the rainforest, spa treatments, river tours, and more.
Your prize is valued at approximately $8,000. Congratulations, Maria.
Thank you. Ha-ha, Mark.
No. I want you guys to win these things. I want you to win these things. I just don't want to give that shirt away.
Maria had so many extra details. She had so many extra details. You should consider sending her a shirt just to be a nice person.
I'll consider it.
Congratulations, Maria. Now you get to make the day of a lucky member of our studio audience who will win a Roomba vacuum from iRobot. So please pick a number between 1 and 146.
74.
5.
Fuck you.
5.
He's in disguise. He's missing school.
You're missing something today. Did not want to be seen on camera today.
Yeah.
Are you skipping school today? Oh, you graduated.
Congratulations.
The world is your oyster. Now you don't have to vacuum anymore. Right on. All right, when we return, Jon Batiste is here. Stick around.
Still ahead on Live, we'll get to see New York's largest pumpkin, Corbin Bleu. And coming up next, Jon Batiste.
All right, and let's see if we can get the rest of the Jon Batiste that you missed. Former band director at Stephen Colbert, The Late Late Show, or just The Late Show. Now, he's a famous Grammy Award winner, and he's dressing up like a 18-year-old wannabe pop star, even though he's like 55, but America, right? fuck's going on? Come on, you stupid motherfucker.
So you and your wife, Suleika, is her name. Yes. So you and your wife, Suleika, is her name.
Yes.
So you have a documentary that's coming out. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Okay, so it started out as a documentary about a symphony that was premiering at Carnegie Hall last year. And American Symphony is the name of this piece. It was this incredible experience to build this new symphony. Imagine, like, what would Beethoven create if he was born in 2023 today?
Right.
What would that sound like? But it changed over the course of filming, because the week that we started filming, we found out that Suleika's leukemia returned. It was also the week that I got nominated for 11 Grammys. So the documentary follows the highs and lows.
Wow, the pendulum really swings.
And it's just one of those things that it's hard to really describe how it felt to capture it, but I'm so grateful that we decided to keep filming.
Yeah.
Yes. Because it's such a lesson that we learned watching how we navigated this time. And I think other people can take so much away from different aspects of it.
Yeah.
Well,
How is she doing?
she's doing a lot better.
Great.
I'm hearing a lot of good things.
Oh, she's doing a lot better. God bless her. Now, I'm about to drop some real on you. You know, as an artist, when the Grammy nominations are announced, to sit there and say, we just found out I was nominated for Grammys. No. You might not have known you were going to be nominated, but you felt you had a chance and you wanted the cameras rolling at that time specifically, just in case. Now, what else are we doing around the Grammys so we could lie and say this is what we're really filming about? Because you don't want to come across as pretentious and be like, we're filming so we could document me being announced for the Grammys. Like, Jesus Christ, like, how sick are you, right? Because then if it doesn't happen, you look like a fool. And if it does happen, you look like some kind of a narcissist or something, like egomaniac. So he starts doing this. So he says, well, we're working on the symphony. Let's say we're focusing on the symphony, and we'll document me doing the symphony, and we'll go through the motions. But really, we know that in like 5 days, the Grammys are going to be announced. And this will be like, oh, well, we're filming the symphony. They're announcing the Grammys. We might as well just, in our off time, we're going to watch. And then watch me be announced, be like, I never expected it, which you might not have expected it, but you wanted to have it documented, but you didn't want to seem like you're conceited is another word, right? The leukemia thing, I don't think you planned, but if you did plan it, oh my God, that's kind of genius, but it's also sick in a way, because they could have found out that her leukemia came back 30 days before and said, you know what, let's film a documentary. But let's not tell, man, if we can capture this journey of her fighting through this, that would be really great. And so what they did was they didn't tell anyone she had leukemia. They started filming. They said it was about this symphony that he was working on, but the documentary wasn't about that. It was about his journey with his wife and her leukemia. And while she's doing this, he just happens to be working on the symphony, but we'll lie to the public and say it's about the symphony, and then boom, there you go. So now you start filming about the symphony, and then now that you're rolling, you come back and you say, oh, there's this diagnosis. You say she went to the doctor, and now you didn't specifically say she went to the doctor yesterday, so you're not lying. Even you're leading us to believe she went to the doctor earlier today or yesterday, but really it was like 60 days ago or 30 days ago. So all you say on the documentary is she went to the doctor earlier, true. And it turns out her leukemia came back. And now it's like, what do we do? I'm doing the symphony. How I can't even beat her as much because I got to support her. And then the Grammy nominations come out, which you knew about. And now you come in here presenting it like it all started out as a symphony thing, but then this happened. So it changed focus. So yeah, that does happen. Whether it happened now, obviously you have no proof, so we have to say allegedly. But anyways, that's season 2, episode 32. I got to get the hell out of here. I'm making food. Look at this hot sausage link. It's hot. It's got hatch chilies in it. Ow. Anyways. And I'm making a breakfast sandwich with a bagel. This is cheddar cheese melted on the outside of the bagel. All right, October 18th in the books. Thank you, Joe Biden, for making a special guest appearance to the female pumpkin, I guess. We're calling all pumpkins girls. Maybe I'm going to start calling girls pumpkins. Like, what's up, girl? You want to be my pumpkin? Maybe I'll put my seed in your pumpkin pie. Whoa, what? My pepitas. All right, that's it. I'm going to go eat, and I'm going to fart in my own mouth.